one. Good evening, everyone. Tewksbury Zoning Board of Appeals for August 26, 2021 is in session. Normally, our first order of business is approval of the meetings. We have none. Approval of the minutes, excuse me. So we'll catch up on that next month. All right, our only hearing tonight is a continued hearing. S&R Realty on behalf of Charles, George, and Andrew Zaroulis for variance from Section 4130 Appendix B for minimum frontage and Section 4148 for minimum required continuous uplands of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw to construct a single-family home as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 40 Long Meadow Drive, Assessors Map 26, Lot 124, zoned residential, and this is continued from last month. Good evening.
Good evening. I think when we last adjourned, the members were going to do a site walk. So I'm not sure whether or not that took place. And
I did. I went out.
I did.
so,
I did.
And we supplied you with some photographs, which I think Alex forwarded to you.
Yep, we have them.
So I guess from our side, we're just wondering what the site walk was like and what the decision will be.
And I'll be honest with you, I did not walk into the site. I pulled up to see exactly where you come out onto Long Meadow. I'm actually glad you sent me these pictures. So now, on this one with the birch tree, right?
That's it.
I don't see it in the picture, but there's a stake up in the corner here. Like from the street to the right side of the birch tree, you can clearly see the stakes.
That's
marked.
the lot line.
On the other side, there is another stake up there. My question is, this lawn here that's mowed, because when I don't know when you took these pictures, but when I went, it was pretty tall right where that birch tree was, which was just the other day.
Yeah.
Out of your property is this mowed lawn, correct?
Yeah, what happens is that people on either side have been mowing the grass for years.
Okay.
Keep it clean.
Well, it like I said, I went over yesterday, I believe. It was kind of odd how there was one strip, I don't know, 50 feet wide maybe, not even 30 feet wide, that just wasn't mowed.
Yeah.
But it seemed like both sides were. And I did see the drain. I'm glad you pointed that out. What is this other paper you gave us? That's really, really small.
I think, Mr. Chairman, it shows a...
That's just showing you where each
Property.
photo was taken.
Okay.
So that photo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
This?
Yeah. The red shows the...
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That fifth photo is about halfway down past the site, and that's where all the water actually comes off of the road and goes into the other part of the land. And I would just think that where it's identified as photo 5, that's where a lot of the problems come in. That, you know, if enough of the people on the street, I think they should probably petition the town to do some drainage work out there because there is none.
Now, what is photo 5? Because I saw that
Yeah,
little
what-
bump in the road.
Yeah, what happens is the water just keeps coming down Long Meadow Road, and then it comes into the rest of our property. And it created that wetland against the road, which right at photo 5.
Right. Now, does that drop off back there? Because I noticed
Yeah, it
as I
drops
drove
off.
down the street, that a lot of it, even after you get past your property, way down towards the end of the road, down there, it goes, there's just tons of water down there.
Yeah.
Tons. It almost looks like it was a swamp at one time and somebody cut a road in it.
Well, the drain, you know, it's poor maintenance of, or lack of a drainage system just keeps making the situation up there worse and worse every year.
What else is there for drainage on that road, like up in that area? All I saw was this one.
Yeah, what happens is
405.
it comes down, that's a low spot in the road, and there's no berm or anything there, so the water just floods into that property. And then it makes its way overland, underland, and through the land, all the way down to the crossing by Mr. English's property. So it's definitely, these people pay taxes. I mean, they should be entitled to get some drainage work done out there.
Yeah, I it's not a street I go down very often because it doesn't go anywhere. So I was really interested to see if there was any drainage on the street. I didn't see much of it. All right. Anything, board members? I'll get there. Anything, board members? No?
I'm ready to vote.
Anything else before I open it to the public? I see Mr. Ingles wants to speak again.
I'm good.
Okay.
I do have one quick question. Do we have to read the letter from Maria Zaroulis into?
Did you see this letter?
Yeah, I was a little puzzled by it because if you clearly see on photos 1, 2, and 3, the area that I thought she was talking about was down where 5 is, because that's where it all ponds up, and it does in the back. But the area between the two houses, and that's after I got that letter, I went out there in a rainstorm, and that's when I sent those photos.
Well, her house is the orange bug in the driveway, right?
Her house is, her driveway, yep.
The orange bug?
Yep, the orange, correct.
She related to the applicant?
Yes.
So she moved. She moved from that one to that one. I don't think we need this, read this into the record. It's in the record.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. In so much as she questions the address, does that make the application, a problem with the application?
The application references the correct road, right?
It says a drive. 40 Long Meadow Drive, at least on my copy of it.
Where are you looking?
So,
I don't have,
You went to the agenda. I already lost that.
all right, it's okay.
So,
Just a question, thank you.
it's okay then. All right. Anything else, board members? Okay, being a public hearing, we'll open it to the public at this time, if anyone would like to speak. Name and address for the record, please.
Joseph A. English, 94 Long Meadow Road, North Tewksbury. Question was proposed by the board about drainage. The only drainage is what we talked about at the last meeting that comes across the road originally from Zulus property and then in between 55 and the vacant land, which used to be 4 acres. I don't know how it got split up, but
50, between the vacant land next to 50, next to 55
yes.
is basically a giant swamp, right? And that's what you're talking about?
It is. And so wasn't where 55 is and all the way up to where the other two houses, the other houses built, that was filled.
Yeah, I saw that big giant swamp.
Yeah.
And
But
there's
it wasn't
one.
always a big giant swamp. And I had, if I knew, we could have brought in, given you guys, you all aerial photos. I have aerial photos from the 50s when Tennessee Gas Line came through our property. And then again, when we did the survey for, in 1990, aerial photographs for that whole area. And you can see the difference between the 50s, 1990, and if I pay for it again, you'll see an even more tremendous difference. Gas line did plug it, but that has nothing to do with the front end or the property below it, okay? The gas line came through, they put a gas line, second gas line in the 60s across Trell Brook. They blocked the brook. Anytime anyone wants to come down, I'm glad to walk you out there and see it. So that has nothing to do with this property that we're talking about on Long Meadow Road. But just so you understand how the property's been damaged because of development in that area. Now, I understand Andrew and Charles's family wanting to develop it and get out of there, and I understand that. But by doing that, you're hurting me, and we've been hurt enough, okay? The town, you say the town should have done maintenance, and I certainly agree with the engineer, the PE. Certainly agree with him. The town refuses to do it. I know that's not your problem, but in the 90s, we had an investigation by the FBI and also the, I'm sure you are aware of that, of the zoning board and what was being done in the town. The town doesn't want to do anything for anybody on Long Meadow Road. Although your trunk line, all your sewage from all over the town comes straight down that road.
I was going to ask, is there town sewage on that road? Is it available to
That
you?
is the trunk line.
Is it available to you? Or is it a trunk
No,
line?
I can tie into
You
it.
can tie in.
I
So
could have
that,
tied into it even if it went the original way
Did-
down Troll Brook.
did they
It wouldn't-
repave that road as part of that project?
Yes, and that's, if you remember correctly, I asked, well, I didn't own the property. Yes, I did own the property. Yeah, I did own the property at that time. I asked him to, I and my aunts asked him, the town, to enlarge the road to 24 feet. That way you could park on the street and still get by, and increase the level from the first manhole that shows up on Long Meadow Road, at my end of the road, to make it level across, because as I'm sure the engineer will testify to, that it has to be is it the 100 or 300 year?
So that road was repaved in the 90s,
Yes.
late 90s?
No, early 90s, when they put the trunk line through. Phase
I don't-
one,
I
I
don't
think
know
that
when
was
they put
phase one of the sewer line. What they did is they started downtown.
So you were one of the first?
We were not on first, we were on fourth, because they put the pipe in, then they connected to the pipe after that was brought out to Duck Island. Modern Continental did from the first manhole when you make the turn onto,
What I'm trying to get at
Yep.
is, somebody had mentioned that that road hadn't been repaved in forever. And then just as you start mentioning that trunk line, I know they repaved every road in town.
Yes, they did.
So that road was repaved, fair to say, within the last 30 years?
91, 92.
91, 92, all right. Around the same time my road was repaved. Every road in town was repaved, okay. Go on, please.
The only difference is that, again, that's the trunk line. It's 18 feet down. And every time they plow the road, they hit the manhole, and you can watch the manholes suck in the water. It's supposed to be sealed. It's not just because it's lumpy to drive down. You're paying Duck Island for overrun of wetland or swamp in there. And there's no way of stopping it unless you have a road that maintains the height for the plow. The snow plow.
I understand. I've never seen a sealed manhole.
And there's quite a few of them along that trunk line.
Yeah?
They're actually bolted down.
Well, bolted doesn't mean sealed.
Well, I mean, usually they're sealed and bolted so people.
They
So
are sealed.
so engineers like me don't go open them up to check the invert.
Well, I've worked construction my whole life, and I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen them bolted in roadways, so plows can't rip them up and take them down the street and
They
leave a big
bolted
gaping
right through
hole.
my property.
Yeah. Well, just,
Sealed is the part that's catching my attention.
they should be sealed and bolted, but
Yes.
they're not.
Okay.
I mean, they're afraid of, not to cut them off, but they're afraid of surcharge too. They don't want
Right, yeah, who would?
covers going flying.
Okay. I try to stay out of those manholes, so.
They are sealed. I was there when they put them in. I was there when they bricked them. I was there when they bolted them down. They had a rubber seal.
Okay.
And it's stated in their engineering plan.
I'll believe you.
No, but I'm just saying, it's fact.
And you're saying that the plows rip them up?
Well, they don't rip them out, but they disturb them, so water goes down. If this hurricane came through like they said it would, as I
killer
said
storm.
earlier, I'm thankful it didn't. But it would have been a problem for 2 or 3 days to get to the farm.
Yep.
Okay? It happens.
Right.
But you could have watched water swirls at those manholes. They're 300 feet apart.
But that's probably a good thing. It's probably helping you.
It's not for the taxpayers that pay sewage.
It's probably helping you if it's getting rid of some of that water.
Doesn't matter, it's still not good for you if you're tied into sewage because you're paying more for what you're putting in.
Goes by the meters. Anything we can throw in the street is
I
fine.
didn't think we were gonna get far with this, but I greatly appreciate the time and the trouble. Like, I'm telling you that I don't understand why we get penalized because people want to develop. I want the same thing that the Zerolas want. But the town, zoning and the town does not maintain the road, they haven't maintained the brook, they haven't maintained anything. And who pays for it? I lose acreage every time we have a rainstorm. And the town doesn't care. The town would like to see it developed. I don't know why. It's not going to increase the tax base. Not the way the
Well, what do
town is right
they
now.
want to see developed? Your property?
But,
They want to see your property developed? Because
well,
there's
that's
not
what
much
they
left
told-
down there to be
That's
developed.
what they told the people on Long Meadow Road at 55, Tony, I don't remember his last name, but he came to me and he said, oh, they're not going to fix the road until you develop it. And he got that from the town at a meeting.
Well, I mean, my road, I'm not arguing with you. My road was repaved when town sewage came by, and it hasn't been touched since. I think we spent all the repaving, and you just unfortunately live on a road that gets beat up. But I don't know if we could accuse the town of not doing something to force your hand to do something.
They can't.
And you drive tractors and
They
stuff.
can't force my hand, as they can't force the rules to do anything.
Right.
But the point is.
But I don't know if it's
costs the
fair,
town more money.
I don't know if it's fair to say the town is neglecting you until you sell out. Because that's what you just said.
No, I said that the town has neglected the road
Right.
and neglected the area.
Because they want to develop.
No, I didn't say they came down to me and said, I want you to develop. They didn't say that.
You said
This is
they,
what was told to me by the gentleman who was here, who was not here tonight.
right, Tony.
They told him that the road wouldn't be repaired until I developed or whoever purchased the property developed.
Right. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? you don't mind, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Paul Ogden, 60 Long Meadow. When I was here last time,
Yep.
I was questioning his map. And I just want to present one that I was able to come up with. And I didn't see the same markings, and I just want to show you the markings.
I'm sorry, you were questioning his what? I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't see the same markings on his map
It was
that I
map.
saw when they did the survey in my yard. I saw some markings, and I didn't see them on his map. So I came up with the maps that I was talking about,
Sure, we'd love to look at those. And you're down at number 60, right?
number 60.
Okay.
And I also have a map of all the lots, right there.
Yeah, we
I
have.
have a map of the elevations,
We have that.
all right there, with all the lots, including his lot. And what I didn't see is right here, and he's got the house in front of it, but I didn't see it on his map. And it says, no disturb zone and no build zone. And that's all I was questioning. I wasn't saying you can't put a house there, I wasn't saying anything, I just didn't see any, and maybe he's gonna put it in front of there. That's the only thing I was questioning. I didn't mean to sound
I wanna-
crazy last time.
I want to understand and answer your question, but I don't.
I really don't have a question.
Okay.
I was just,
Well, I'm looking at what the applicant has given us.
I don't, what he's saying, I think, Jim, is he didn't see the first page that shows the house with the no disturb zone. He just saw the big plan.
Gotcha. Okay.
We had a I talked to him.
so I just wanted to clarify that,
Okay.
all right?
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. English? Because I'm going to close both parts of the hearing. I'm going to close both parts of the hearing.
I'm sure we're going to get there.
I'm giving you the opportunity because I know last meeting you got up like 4 or 5 times. So it was the last time every time you get up. Okay.
So
Yes, sir.
basically, we would have to be, if we were successful at this board, we'd have to go to conservation. And at conservation, we'd have to take care of not increasing the runoff from our site. And whatever's coming off our site now would continue to come off. We couldn't increase that. That's a requirement that that the conservation has. So we would have to take care of the drainage that affects this little particular area here. We can't fix all the drainage, but we can't make it worse on our lot. Because this is only step 1, step 2 would be conservation. Thank you.
Anything else, board members?
Nothing here.
All set?
Thank you.
If somebody'd like to make a motion to close both parts of the hearing, if we choose to do that, we can have a discussion, a vote, or
So moved.
whatever the board chooses. All right, motion's been made to close both parts of the hearing, and second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Someone wants to make a motion? I can't, because I'm still the chairman until next month.
No.
So if we make a motion, it's always to approve initially, and then we vote.
The board always makes its motions in the affirmative, and then we call for a vote.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve SNR Realty on behalf of Charles George and Andrew Zarulis for a variance from section 4130, appendix B, for a minimum frontage in section 4148 for minimum required contiguous uplands of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw to construct a single-family home as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 40 Long Meadow Road, Assessors Map 26, Lot 124, zoned residential.
Motion has been made,
Second?
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, so 2 in favor, 1 opposed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anything else? Any old business, board members? Any new business?
No?
Motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.